Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're up to lesson 6 of Unit 2 now. And in this lesson, we're going to learn about something called standard form and how to convert a polynomial from factored form to standard form. So, factored form, we talked a little bit about in the previous lesson. We use factored form to find the x-intercepts, right? That was setting each factor equal to 0 and solving for x. To convert from factored to standard form, we're going to multiply out using the box method. And I'll explain to you what that means when we go through the examples. We use that to convert from factored to standard form. And the reason we need what we call a standard form is that it allows us to find the degree. Okay, it allows us to find the largest exponent, and it allows us to figure out the y-intercept. Remember, the y-intercept is the constant term of the polynomials. So we would need to know the standard form in order to do that. So the examples today are going to be all about converting from factored to standard form. And again, we're going to use the box method. So on number 1, I notice I have two binomials, right? I have two polynomials that have two terms each. So two binomials. I'm going to create a 2 by 2 box. I'm going to create a 2 by 2 box, and I'm going to put each one polynomial up top and one polynomial down the side. And I'm basically going to treat this as if it were one of those multiplication tables you used to use in elementary school. Okay? So to fill in each box, I'm going to multiply out. So for example, to fill in this first box right here, I'm going to do x times x. Well, what is x times x? X times x is, let me use a different color, x times x is x squared. All right? To fill in this box, I'm going to do 7 times x. Well, what is 7 times x? It's 7x. All right, to fill in this box, I'm going to do negative 4 times x. Well, negative 4 times x is negative 4x. And then this last one, this last box is going to be negative 4 times positive 7. Well, what is negative 4 times positive 7? That's going to be a negative 28. So I fill in the box by doing all of those multiplications, and now I can go ahead and write out the answer. So to write out the answer, I'm going to start off in the top left part of the box. So I'm going to start off with x squared. And then what I like about the box method is that as I work my way down these diagonals here, the diagonal will give me the like terms that I need to combine. So this particular diagonal here, I have 7x and a negative 4x. A 7x and a negative 4x combines to a positive 3x. So I have x squared, then I combine the like terms and I end up with positive 3x and then minus 28. If I put all that together, I end up with my answer. So my answer is x squared plus 3x minus 28. So what I just circled is what we call the standard form. This is the standard form of the polynomial. This is the factored form. And then by using the box method, I get the standard form. So that's it for number 1. Let's look at number 2. Number 2, notice I have a binomial. I have one with 2 terms, and I have a factor with 3 terms. So I have a binomial and a trinomial. So I'm going to create, instead of a 2 by 2 box, I'm going to create a 2 by 3 box. So 2 rows by 3 columns. So by doing that, I can put the 2x minus 1 over here, and I can put the x squared plus 10x plus 7 over here. And now I'm literally going to do the same thing. So to fill in this box, I'm going to multiply this times this. So 2x times x squared. So 2x times x squared, okay? Whenever I'm multiplying with variables, I always add the exponents. So this is really 2x to the power of 1. So my answer is going to be 2x cubed because I add the 1 and the 2, and I get an exponent of 3. So that first box is going to be 2x cubed. Okay? This one down here is going to be negative 1 times x squared. So that's going to be a negative 1 x squared. Okay? This one right here is going to be 2x times 10x. So that's going to be a 20. 2 times 10 is 20. And x times x, add the exponents, is going to be 20x squared. This bottom one right here is going to be negative 1 times 10x. So that's going to be a negative 10x. And then this one is going to be 2x times 7. So 2x times 7 is going to be 14x. And then this one is going to be negative 1 times 7, which is negative 7. So I filled in the box. Now to write out the answer, again, I'm going to start off in the top left corner. So I'm going to start off with 2x cubed, and then I'm going to work my way down to the bottom right by combining my like terms along the diagonals. So here I have a 20x squared and a negative 1x squared. So a 20 and a negative 1x squared is going to become a positive 19x squared. This diagonal I have 14x and negative 10x. So 14 and negative 10 is going to combine to 4x. And then my constant term is minus 7. So my standard form is 2x cubed plus 19x squared plus 4x minus 7. So that's my answer for number 2. Number 3 is a little different because notice this time I have 3 factors here. So unfortunately, there isn't a way to multiply 3 factors out at once. So the only way we could actually do number 3 is to multiply any 2 of them together and then take that answer and multiply it by the third one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first 2 factors and I'm going to multiply those out using the box method. So I'm going to create a 2 by 2 box. So I have x plus 2 and x minus 3. And I'm going to multiply those 2 out. And then once I get that answer, I'm going to take that answer and multiply it by the third one here. So let's go ahead and multiply that first 2. So this top left is going to be x times x. So that's going to be x squared. This one is going to be negative 3 times x. So that's a negative 3x. This one is going to be 2 times x. So that's going to be 2x. And this one is going to be negative 3 times 2, which is negative 6. So if I put that together, I end up with, starting in the top left, I have x squared. Then I have negative 3x and positive 2x. So along this diagonal, negative 3 and a positive 2x is going to become a negative 1x minus 6. So when I multiply the first two together, I get this. Now I'm going to bring the third one down, and I'm going to take that answer and I'm going to multiply it by the third factor of 2x minus 5. So now I'm going to do the box method again. So now I have a trinomial and a binomial. So I'm going to create a 3 by 2 box. So this will be x squared minus 1x minus 6. And this will be 2x minus 5. And now I'm going to multiply using that box method. So this one right here is going to be 2x times x squared. So 2x times x squared, that's going to be a 2x cubed. Remember, the 2 and the 1, we add those exponents to become cubed. This one right here is going to be negative 5 times x squared. So that's going to be a negative 5x squared. Now we have 2x times negative 1x. 2x times negative 1x. That's going to be a negative 2, because 2 times negative 1 is negative 2, and x times x is x squared. So negative 2x squared. Negative 5 times negative 1x, that's a negative times a negative. So negative 5 times negative 1x is going to be a positive 5x. And then lastly, we have negative 6 times 2x. That's going to be a negative 12x. And then this last box is going to be negative 6 times negative 5, which is going to be a positive 30. So when I write out my answer, I'm going to have 2x cubed. And then this diagonal is going to be negative 5 and negative 2x squared. So that's going to be a negative 7x squared. This diagonal is going to be a negative 12 and a positive 5x. So a negative 12 and a positive 5x is going to be not a positive. That's going to be a negative 7x, right? Negative 12 and positive 5 becomes negative 7, and then plus 30. So put together, I have 2x cubed minus 7x squared minus 7x plus 30. That is it for number 3, and that is it for this lesson.